Hello and welcome to the United Stand. It's the Jose Mourinho press conference reaction. And I'll tell you what, some people would say there wasn't a lot in there. There was a lot. There was some good real positive bits from Jose, to be honest, as well. But what I would say is that, look, I'm massively excited about this game. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea. It's a massive game at Stamford Bridge. And we've had a crap start to the season. And yes, the international break always changes the opinion, and Mourinho spoke about that himself, but where's the bloody passion? We've got to win this game, and I just feel that, look, on the face of it, people would say Jose's here to stay, there's nothing to report, but I read that completely the other way. Very subdued, very, playing a bat, trying to keep his wicket, and no, where's the passion? Where is the passion? We've got a massive game tomorrow, we need inspiration, and it's just lethargic, almost bordering on negative. It feels like he's already beaten tomorrow. I mean, he spoke about... He was asked a direct question, basically, about... Andy Stewart says positive from Jose. Is Mourinho feeling all right? It wasn't positive at all, really. He spoke positively about Luke Shaw, but he was asked a very, very good question about what his thoughts were on Sarri ball and going back to Chelsea. He refused to answer the question about Sarri, not directly, but just didn't answer it. He spoke about Chelsea and basically said, look, would I celebrate a goal or a victory for my team? No, because it's about respect. That used to be my club. It used to be my supporters. But obviously tomorrow I'm 100% Manchester United. And I think what he was getting at there is that I may be wrong on this. I am wrong on some things. I may be wrong about this. But I felt that comment was totally and utterly preparation for what he thinks he's going to get tomorrow. Because if you remember Conte's first game, they beat us. The crowd were mocking him, the Chelsea fans, his fans, and I thought it was abhorrent. I thought it was absolutely terrible, but it's typical of Chelsea, to be honest. They flip-flop. Mourinho is their best ever manager. When he goes back there, he should be applauded. However, and they sacked him as well. It's not like he walked out to come to Manchester United. So whilst Manchester United are a rival of Chelsea's, they're not really one of ours. We've got bigger fish to fry, well, we used to, like Wolves. But seriously, they should treat Mourinho well. And my dad supports Chelsea and he's a big fan of Mourinho for what he did for Chelsea. Not a big fan of him now, and he said to me, you probably need to get rid of him because he's doing what he did to United, what he did at the end at Chelsea. But he actually has got a lot of time for Mourinho. And there are a lot of Chelsea fans who do have a lot of time for Mourinho. But football's flippant, and football is an arena, and it's a bit like the Colosseum. And Mourinho is there tomorrow to face the Lions, literally the Chelsea Lions, and they'll throw him to the Lions. And if they're winning 2 or 3-0 tomorrow lunchtime, they will turn on him. And I felt that Mourinho's comments about respect was aimed at that, what happened last time with Conte. But I think he's dreaming. I do not think he's going to get any respect tomorrow. Unless it's sympathy respect because we're 5-0 down at half-time and being played off the park. They'll probably sing his name then because they want him to stay at United. But I tell you what, if it's a tight game and everything like that, there'll be no quarter given. So I just felt that Jose... I wanted him to come boxing out, really. I wanted him to come out like, the last stand. Jose Mourinho's last stand. Let's go for it. Because he did mention the international break and he said it's weird. And I agree with him. The international break is weird. He said, we've come back and even today we've not got everybody back training. So God knows who that is. But that's worrying that there are players. And he didn't name those players. But he said not everybody's back yet training. And I'm wondering, I don't know whether Alexis Sanchez probably was the furthest traveller. I think he might have played the last game as well. So that's a little bit of concern when there's a game tomorrow. Look, the international break's a bloody nightmare anyway. You don't want to be playing away, and you certainly don't want to be playing away to the top of the league at midday on the Saturday. So it's not great preparation, and I would defend Jose on that. But he did say, look, the players are in a good mood. Obviously, the result before the international break still stands, and people are still feeling positive about that. So hopefully, I'm saying hopefully that they can take that into tomorrow. But I just didn't feel Mourinho... And I'm not picking on Mourinho here. I'm just saying my interpretation of his press conference was that he's in the room, but his mind's elsewhere, and that's what it feels like. And I know I've said that many a time that it feels like he's fell out of love with football at United and because of what happened at Chelsea. But I really felt today that he was very, very detached from what was actually going on, and he played a safe bat and he answered the questions, but there wasn't even any irritation there, and there certainly wasn't any passion there. Obviously, he mentioned about going and getting a good result, but it reminded me of the West Ham game when we're prepared well, we're going to get a result, and then we never even turned up. And it's interesting because at the same time as the press conference was going on, I had Sky Sports on and they were interviewing Paul Pogba, and Pogba was talking about the Newcastle game and what he... total contrast between Mourinho and Pogba, because look, we're probably going to lose tomorrow. A lot of people think we will lose because Chelsea are a good team. We've got a terrible record there. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Wouldn't matter if we were in great form. It's a very tough game for us tomorrow because of where it is and how they're playing. But you've got Mourinho there playing the back, and then you've got Paul Pogba. He's on about it was for the fans against Newcastle that they stayed with us. We went for it, and the Premier League, you just never know. But one thing's for sure, and you give your life when you're on that pitch. And I thought it was very interesting from Paul Pogba, because a lot of people talk about Paul Pogba being lethargic on the pitch and not playing well, and he's there like you give your life, and spoke about the fans and how they responded to that. And I think that Pogba's very, very positive, whereas Jose's very, very negative. And I don't know. I just think that I'm worried about tomorrow, and I'm worried about how Mourinho is going to approach it. And maybe Mourinho, look, I suppose I was looking for hints of we're going to go and have a go, and I think we all know reality is he is going to park the bus. But positive things about what Jose said. He spoke about Luke Shaw, and I'm going to applaud Mourinho on this. And I know some people will like that, a lot of people won't, but I will applaud Mourinho on Luke Shaw. He was asked about Luke Shaw, and he said, look, all men are different, and the way that Luke Shaw's dealt with it is fantastic, because even in the bad times when he wasn't getting selected, he was still coming to me saying, I'm going to be the left back of Manchester United, I'm going to be the player that you want me to be. And now he's become that. He's absorbed what was said tactically, he's put the work in around his fitness, and now he is the England and Manchester United left back, and he's been rewarded with a contract. And what Mourinho said here was very, very good, and not a lot of people will pick up on this. And he said, now he's got what he wanted, and that will make him happy. And I think this is something that I've said before. How can you get the best out of your players mentally when they're always wondering about what's happening to them? And we've got a lot of players like this. Anthony Martial, David De Gea, they're going through contract negotiations at the moment. You've got Ander Herrera, you've got Chris Smalling, I think. There's a few other players whose contract, Juan Mata, totally up in the summer. So they've got no security to just focus on their football. They've got these things going on because our owners, not Mourinho, our owners are so tight-fisted with money, they let contracts run down and then negotiate, because obviously if you negotiate a couple of years before, you're paying a higher wage for longer. So that's why they wait for the contracts to drop down. So Mourinho's right, Luke Shaw having that contract now, we may even see an even better Luke Shaw, which is hard to think because he's been absolutely fantastic. But yes, I liked what Mourinho said, and you know what, tough love, whatever you want to call it, it's worked with Luke Shaw. It has worked with Luke Shaw. But people will say that's down to Mourinho. I think it's down to Luke Shaw more. It's that mental stubbornness to just keep going and going and going and proving Mourinho wrong. And Jose will take the plaudits for that, because he, ultimately it's on his watch that Luke Shaw's become good. But I actually think last season Luke Shaw should have been playing ahead of Ashley Young anyway. I mean, the Mo Salah performance apart at Old Trafford where he pocketed him, I thought, Luke Shaw should have been playing last season. Luke Shaw should have gone to the World Cup. But his perseverance has stood in there and it's done well. And it was interesting to see Mourinho say all players are different, because I remember before the Europa League final, he was like, I don't deal with players who need arms around their shoulders. I like hard players. I leave that to my coaches and stuff. And now here he is saying all players are different. It's a total contrast to what he was saying, just over a year ago, which is a good thing, because Mourinho needs to understand that everybody's different to get the best out of everybody. So yeah, that was interesting as well. He also spoke about the ban. Now that's quite interesting, because he was asked about whether he'd responded to the FA ban, and he said yes. Now this is a bit of a concern, because if I did a video on my channel this morning, Mark Goldbridge live stream, about this, about what Mourinho had said and how he could avoid a ban against Chelsea, a touchline ban. He may not get a touchline ban. He could get a fine. But the reality is he had till 5 o'clock today or 6 o'clock today to respond. If he'd waited till 6 o'clock, the FA can't give the ban. They've got to do it. They've got to have a meeting about it. So they're probably not going to do it after 6 on a Friday. They'll probably do it next Monday, which means if he gets a ban, it'll be for Everton and he's on the touchline for the Chelsea game. If he's responded to that ban already, it's conceivable that the FA could be meeting this afternoon to decide what the punishment is, which may put Mourinho in the stands for the Chelsea game. We'll have to wait and see. But I said last night, and I'll say it again, I don't know what you lot think. I think that it's absolutely imperative that Mourinho is on the touchline tomorrow. I know he might talk about respect and everything like that, and he might be concerned about the fans having a pop at him, but the reality is you need your manager on the touchline. Or do you? We didn't need any tactics in the second half against Newcastle, did we? But you can't go that gung-ho against Chelsea. We need to be disciplined tomorrow, and Mourinho needs to be dictating the orders from the touchline, so it's very important. So hopefully there won't be a ban coming in before tomorrow's game. Lucas says, do you think Martial will play and is Lingard fit? I don't know about Jesse Lingard. I mean, it's gone very quiet on Jesse Lingard, whether he's fit or not. I wouldn't... as I said with my predicted lineup, I think Anthony Martial has to start. He saved Jose's job. He was brilliant in that second half against Newcastle. He has to start. If he doesn't start, then that's just a massive indicator of what Mourinho's tactic is, isn't it? He's going to put a hard worker in there. But I think if you want to win, Martial's got to play. Harry Fernando Paz says he shouldn't be punished anyway. Pure emotion and relief. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I do agree with you on that. I don't think that Mourinho should be banned. Should even be charged. I felt it was wrong. I mean, he was asked whether he felt he was being there was a witch hunt against him, and he said, I can't complain, I can't say anything because they'll just interpret it, and I'll probably get another ban, so I say nothing. But I'll say it, you can say it, there is a witch hunt against Jose Mourinho. Look, I want Mourinho to leave Manchester United. I think the ship has sailed. I think we are in that third year. I don't think he can turn the boat around. I think that is it as far as Manchester United are concerned, and we do need to replace Mourinho. But I'm not going to I don't hate Mourinho. I wish it had worked out. I really do. I backed him for a long, long time. I don't dislike the bloke at all. But when it comes to your football club, you are passionate about it, and sometimes you've got to be absolutely blunt and ruthless. And I don't think United are blunt and ruthless enough in the transfer market or in the way they do things. And I think Mourinho needs to go. That's a ruthless statement. However, I also would say, bluntly, that I feel that the FA do target Mourinho unfairly. I mean, we saw it when he kicked the bottle. He got into trouble for that. And then we saw Pep and Klopp doing similar things. Nothing happened. We've seen Klopp swearing and nothing happens. Mourinho swears in Portuguese and he gets a ban. It is a witch hunt. But what I would say about that is that maybe, you make your bed, you lie in it. And Mourinho has, in the past, probably pissed the FA off a little bit. But they to me, it's clear that they are a witch hunt against him. And I'm not saying that I think Klopp should get charged or Pep should get charged for anything. I don't want to see managers charged for swearing and stuff like that. All I would like to see is probably them come out and apologise and say it was a heat of the moment, because I want to see the passion in football. We all do. And I think that's really important. But you never know whether the complaint went into the FA from journalists, because he probably was having a go at them, wasn't he? Because he was like, he's good doing the little finger thing. So there we go. But yeah, I'd like, I suppose the bad thing about that is that then you get Mourinho today and maybe tomorrow lacking passion again, because he just doesn't want to get into any more trouble. But if you lose a manager without passion, then you're passionless, aren't you? And I just felt that Jose did feel, it wasn't obvious, but it just felt detached. It felt he felt his mind was somewhere else. And I really did find the comment about respect and, I won't be celebrating if we win. I won't celebrate a goal if we score, because I'm respectful of this club that used to be my club and my supporters. And although I'm 100% Manchester United tomorrow, respect is important. I just felt that was a preparation for what we're all anticipating tomorrow, that Chelsea are going to win, and maybe he's going to have a repeat of what happened with his first trip down there against Conte, when Conte was getting the crowd going and turning them against Mourinho. So Mourinho, I think, there was just trying to sort of shoot a warning to Chelsea fans to treat him with some respect tomorrow. But he shouldn't need to worry about that if you're going to win the game. With all due respect, Chelsea fans, up yours, Chelsea fans, because why would you need to respect them? Sod them. Go there and win. You don't need to worry about that. Just go and win. You don't have to worry about them having a pop at you then. Go there and win. I didn't really like that statement, to be honest. Krista Sebastian Thomason says he swore a little bit. So what? That's passion. The kids here worse at home. Mourinho's been less passionate because he always gets fines. Yeah, it's a fair point. Jose was for sale on eBay, but no one was interested, says Stephen Store. And FaZe Mood says, where can we watch United Stand versus Arsenal Fan TV? Is it on Sky? Look, I've had a few questions about this. We are playing Arsenal Fan TV on Sunday afternoon. If it was our game and we were at home, it would be live. We'd put it up live. But Arsenal Fan TV are hosting the game. That's why we're playing in navy blue, because we're away from home. and it isn't live. I mean, we will have cameras down there filming stuff, and we'll put up a highlights reel, of course. But that's the answer to that question. And also, just as a little bit of added spice for this game, I'm playing. I'm touching 40 and I'm playing. And, it is the United stand versus Arsenal Fan TV. And the United stand will have at least half a team of United stand regulars playing. Arsenal Fan TV, I don't think I've got anybody. I think DT's going to do a little pirouette cameo for the last 2 minutes. But look, I'm not expecting to win because they've got a proper team. They've had trials. They've played numerous games. This is our first game. But we are actually putting a team out with people who actually appear on the channel. So even if we lose 8-0, we're still the winners because we are the United stand. We have got regulars, real regulars on the channel like Flex and Sophie and Rance and me actually playing who are regulars on the channel. So I think it's a loose term to say it's United stand versus Arsenal Fan TV. But yeah, I would have put it up live. I definitely would have put it up live. So there you go. And we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to it. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Drop a like on the video. Back again at 8 o'clock tonight. And then, you know what? I'll give you a bit of bloody passion. I'll give you some passion. I don't know why I've gone Australian, but I'll give you... Get over here, Sheila. I'll give you some passion. It's Manchester United versus Chelsea tomorrow. I'm pumped. I'm excited. I want to see the team turn up and give us some. We're Manchester United, for God's sake. We're Manchester United fans. We don't drift through life drinking bloody cold tea and plain ham sandwiches. We want hot tea with 2 sugars in it. And we want ham, lettuce, bacon, tomato, whatever. We want spice. Give us a bit of Worcester sauce on it as well. This is what we want. It's a big game tomorrow. That's what we want to see from a manager. That's what we want to see from our players. Come on. I've hated it this week because Chelsea fans are absolutely... Kepa's better than De Gea. Because they know they're going to bloody win. I'm not going to give any quarter. Look, I want United to win tomorrow. Definitely want United to win. Do I think we're going to win? No, I don't. But you never know if you keep believing. But I'll still be there supporting United afterwards. And I'll still be there giving it to Chelsea fans. And Salah's better than Hazard. And it winds them right up. So just keep saying it. Salah's better than Hazard. De Bruyne is better than Hazard. Just keep saying it. It destroys them. They can't deal with it. But no, it's a massive game tomorrow. Very excited. We'll have the watch along. We'll be live from 11:30 with the team news, which is going to be very interesting all the way through till full time. Then the match reaction. Then the fan cams. Bring it on. It's a big bloody game. I think we are going to lose, but there's always hope. And those players better get out there and give it some. And Mourinho better get out there and give it some. Sod bloody respect for Chelsea. Shove your respect for Chelsea up your arse. They sacked you, mate. They bloody sacked you. Piss off with the bloody respect for Chelsea. They sacked you and mugged you off when you won the bloody title 4 months before. Up yours with your respect. Go and have a chat with them behind closed down. Get on the touchline tomorrow, Manchester United manager, and show some bloody passion. And let's go for it. Let's defy all odds. Let's turn this around. Be the greatest manager in the world. Prove everybody wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove most of you wrong. Go out there, win the game, play well, take it in Juventus, win the next 10 games. We can do it. We can believe. Come on. Of course, that's not going to happen. But, we've got to believe. We've got to go for it. And we need to get some bloody passion into this club. Come on. Come on, United. Thanks for watching. Drop a like on video and I'll see you all at 8 o'clock. Oh, FIFA at 2:30, by the way, on Mark Goldbridge, That's Football.